What's up, everybody? It's your girl, AK, and you are now tuned in to my new podcast, I Got Some Shit to Say, where we keep it real, raw, unfiltered, and uncut. So anything that you got on your chest that you're ready to dive in and talk about, it's time to tune in. And of course, I'm always going to have a special guest or a co-host with me, but this is the main face y'all going to see on my screen. We got Big Sid in the building.
Hey, y'all. What's up, y'all? My name is Sydney. Follow me on all social platforms. It is Sydney Alexis. And yeah, I'm so proud of my big AK dropping her new podcast. And just know we about to have a lot of shit to say. So like she said, stay tuned.
So now we're about to get into the episode. So we're going to start off with a cheers, and you guys stay in for some real juicy tea, okay?
Cheers.
So to get started, we're going to start this episode off with the ghetto-fiedness of being in your 20s, okay?
Ghetto.
Because nobody talks about it, nobody prepares you for it. So we really want to dive into everything that no one talks about, which is being young in your middle 20s and how life can really be life sometimes, okay? So we're going to start off with an icebreaker to kind of ease the mood, and it's going to be called overrated or underrated. So I'm going to give you, Sydney, it's going to be 20s editions, overrated or underrated. So I'm going to give you basically a whole bunch of like situations or little quick scenarios. And you're going to say for being in your 20s, if you think that's an overrated thought or an underrated thought.
Okay.
All right. So the concept of finding your soulmate in your 20s.
I say it's low-key underrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said the same thing because I feel like you finding yourself
You need
in your
to
20s.
you need to find yourself, and you need to find a partner on your 20s if you're trying to get married before
That part.
30. Personally, me. So
Yeah, I feel like you definitely are finding yourself in your 20s. So I
Yeah.
don't think that's a like something you need to be focused on for real.
Definitely.
Finding a soulmate, but
there's no skirt. Pause. My bra strap is
pause. We're gonna redo that.
Why didn't y'all say something? Y'all are so rude
And
fake.
all right, so next, traveling in your 20s.
So underrated because
Yes,
I
I
think
agree.
parents low-key are like, no, save it. You need to focus on this, save up. Nah, no, I'm so here and living for traveling in my 20s. So yeah, underrated. And if you don't travel, start today.
Okay. Okay, living in a either big or nice spot or area. Like it doesn't necessarily either or, like a nice area or a nice spot in your 20s.
I think that's overrated. It's not necessarily necessary. I think social media kind of projects that as like if you're not living in a nice luxury high rise in Buckhead or out of town or have a house, you're just like, oh, you ain't really popping it. But it's like I'm not gonna say we have our whole lives because like we always like we talk about like you never know when your last day might be. So I say that's overrated. If you even have a spot, kudos to you.
That part.
That part.
That part. I feel like having a spot in general
is
good in your 20s.
Yes.
The last one is going to be the idea that you should be like using your 20s to basically get your life together. Do you think the thought of that is overrated or underrated?
I'd say it's like in the middle. I'll kind of say the thought of it is kind of, it's overrated sometimes. I feel like to our parents' extent, is that the word? Parents' extent? We're going to ignore that. I don't know. That sounds really bad, but whatever. I think it's low-key kind of overrated, but then again, it is low-key underrated because you don't want to just spend your 20s just being wild and not trying to set yourself up and have a plan. I think if you have a plan, cool. If you're not working towards nothing, yeah, get it together.
Facts. Okay. Well, that kind of sums up our little icebreaker. So now we're going to really dive into it, but we're going to start off again with another sip because we got to get real.
Cheers.
So now we are going to dive deep into the conversation of basically how your 20s can be so terrifying. I'm just playing, not terrifying, but definitely like a headache.
Yeah.
So I feel like when we're in our 20s, we really are starting to like, especially in this 2025, you see people making money off TikTok, off Instagram, working corporate jobs, side hustles. Like it's just, everybody's all over the place. And it's just like, it makes you kind of be confused on where you should be kind of sometimes.
Right.
So
That's true.
let's start it off with this. Is there a specific area of life that you feel the most pressure to like figure out in your 20s, whether that's finances, relationships, or like mental health? Like which one do you feel like is the most important to kind of figure out first in your 20s?
I think me personally, my challenge lately trying to figure out is like my career because I want to be in my career while I'm in my 20s because I'm trying to set myself up like we were talking about earlier. I want to be married before or by 30 and have kids, at least one kid, at least before or by 30. But before any of those things take place, I have got to be like established in my career. my finances have to be in order. And that's how I kind of feel like finances come in that to place, because there's no finances if there's no career. So I personally feel like for me, career is like my first priority, what I'm trying to figure out. But since it's not working in that way in my favor right now, because I'm still not established in my career, which is so unfortunate. The next thing is definitely finances. Like, since I moved back home after college, so I'm at home, I get to save up and stack up for my own place again. But once again, no rush. Even though I want to get out, no rush, but you still want to, get your finances in order so that you're able to save up for that. But at the same time, like you said, it's so much for us to try to focus on. You want your mental health to be intact too.
Yeah, so, I feel like we put a lot of pressure on being financially stable in our 20s.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you financially be stable in your 20s when you're literally in the middle of finding yourself? You don't even have a real career. You're really in the middle of finding yourself. So how, but it's so hard because with this day and time in 2025, the price of everything is so it's not the same generation from back in the days that they grew up in. So it's like you low-key have to be financially stable to a certain extent to live the life you want in 2025 as a 20-year-old. So I feel like that's a bad pressure that we have to deal with, because it's like, what do you do? Do I need to go work a 9 to 5, or do I just chill, pay my bills?
Right. It's like you don't want to miss out on the fun, but then again, you don't want to have too much fun to the point where you're not setting yourself up for the future. So literally, balance. It's all about balance.
No, literally. Y'all gonna see why we said it's all about balance real soon.
I can't wait. Yeah.
Okay, so leads to my next question. So what does having life together really mean to you? What is, not the definition of your life together, but what do you feel like for Sydney makes you feel like you have your life together, as a 20-year-old?
I feel like a lot of people, when I explained what my situation is, what I'm doing or how I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. If I want to go back to school, if I want to keep pursuing what I'm doing, what I went to school for, I always tell people, I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I'm all over the place. And they always say to me, no, at least you have a plan.
No, that part.
I feel like a lot of people, you'd be surprised that people in our age group, in their mid-20s or early 20s, whatever, we're literally in our mid-20s. We're not early 20s anymore. It's gross. But you'd be surprised how many people really don't
like that. I'm sorry. The way you just
wild.
Said that mid-20s.
I'm over here mid-20s or early 20s. We're not early 20s anymore.
No more. We're aunties. Okay, sorry. Anyways,
yeah.
What makes you feel?
So I feel like, you would be surprised. That's what I was saying. You'd be surprised how many people in their mid-20s or just in their 20s in general don't even have a plan for their life. I feel like ever since I low-key went to college, I've always had a plan. I always try to write out things, or at least be okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, definitely do that, or maybe I'll do that. I am very indecisive, but I still at least have a plan. So what makes me feel like I have it together in my life is knowing I have a plan, knowing what I want for my future, and even though I may be doing something I don't want to do, it's still going to help me get to the point where I want to be. So it's something you kind of have to think about, because sometimes I get in those moments, in those modes, and I'm just bro, what am I doing? I just feel like I don't know what I'm doing in my life right now, things like that. But the whole time, God has a plan. You just got to be patient. Just wait for it to, fall into place how it's supposed to. But like you said, God has a plan. And if you have a plan, I feel like everything will work out. So if you don't have a plan for your life, your career, anything, what are you doing? Time is literally ticking. So at least get a plan.
I was going to say, that's a good way to sum all that up. Because I was going to say, me, my mental health is what I feel like is what makes me feel like I have my life together. But that all comes together with you having a plan with your life. If you don't have a plan, your mental health is literally going to be all over the place. Because you're going to wake up every day not knowing what you're working towards, not knowing what you want to do. And I feel like me having a, mental health, that all ties into a plan.
It
literally,
does. It really does. Yeah.
If you don't have a plan for your life, then it's you're basically just sitting around waking up aimlessly. What am I doing today? What are my goals? What you know what I'm saying? You have to have something that you're reaching towards to make you feel like you are getting somewhere. And I feel like that's the biggest part of getting through your 20s, because you're not going to have it figured out right now. You're not going to have everything situated. Your finances are going to be up and down. Your career, your friendship, relationships, everything's going to be so up and down. But I feel like as long as you have a plan, that makes everything easier, because stuff is going to happen, but you just know what you're going towards. So that's definitely a good, I'll agree with that one on that. So that leads into the next segment. So you mentioned earlier about the fear of missing out. So that was gonna be my next topic, basically that whole thing. Cause I feel like a lot of people deal with that, not even realizing they deal with it. I personally, I don't care about missing.
Right.
Let me care. I don't care about missing out.
Right.
Okay. I'm okay with that, with missing out. I'm okay with making my own lane, doing shit my own way. But I feel like a lot of this generation, because of social media and how we portray stuff, it makes it a fear of missing out on everybody's part. Like they don't want to miss out on, oh, if this person has an apartment, I feel like I should have an apartment now.
Right.
Or if this person is traveling every 2 weeks, I feel like I should travel every 2 weeks.
Yep.
And it's like that all ties into the whole thing of thinking you're going to miss out on something because you're keeping up with the next person. Do you experience FOMO?
FOMO, right.
I'm going to say FOMO, but FOMO.
Sometimes, yes. But then sometimes I really don't. Because like you said, I know the time is coming. Sometimes you can get a little like discouraged. Like if you're looking on Instagram, be like, oh, dang, this person just got a nice old apartment. Even if it's nice or if it's just like, you know, regular. I'm not going to say it's ugly, but like just a regular apartment versus like a super duper luxury high rise, whatever. Like when I see stuff like that, I'm like, dang, that would be nice. But like, I'm not like, and like, oh, I wish that was me. But sometimes I do have those moments. But then there's other times I'm like, it's straight, bro. I can't wait because when it's my turn, I'm finna pop it too. Like I'm finna be the same way. But I always have to think about we're still so young, even though we're talking about our mid-20s. We're still so
Stop
young.
saying that.
I'm sorry. Like, come on now, like y'all. A lot of people don't even live. People in their 30s and 40s still don't even have their life together. People still don't even have these very nice cars or driving in a 2020 up car, like, or there's so many different situations. Everyone's at so many different places in their life. You need to think about, like, even though we're in a completely different world of what our parents grew up in, like, our parents weren't even out here in these nice high-rise luxury nice apartments, even though it looked different back then. Like, we're doing fine. So, like, sometimes just take a moment to sit back and be like, I'm straight. I have a car. Even if you don't have a car, you have somewhere to live. Like,
I feel like some people use that fear of missing out, but you don't realize everybody don't come from the same. Like everybody's situations is not always the same. So
you'd
it's
be
like,
surprised how people do have the things that they have,
but
it's
the shit
sometimes
they have
not
to
even.
do,
It's not literally like you don't know how hard they may have worked for it. You don't know if their parents may have funded it.
Yeah.
You don't know like if. That might be credit. It could be credit. It could be family. It
Sometimes
could be money inherited from family. Like you don't know
that
like,
part. And I was gonna say some people
so...
make decisions on shit. Like some people do shit behind closed doors that you wouldn't even think. That's like I would never do that just so they can make shit so they
can
look
get
a certain
to that
way. Literally,
exactly.
Just so,
yeah. So.
Hello. You just messed up my video. We gave y'all some advice on how to deal with your 20s, but I feel like everybody just need to kind of chill. I feel like we all just, like, I feel like I'm around certain people that I feel like deal with fear of missing out, and I don't, that it be irritating me for them because I'm like, girl, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be, let's talk about that real quick. You don't have to be a part of everything that people around you are going with, especially your friends.
Yeah.
Everybody has goals and different things they're going to reach at a certain time. So if you looking at your friends or the people that you're hanging out with and you have that, oh, I feel like I'm missing out because I wasn't a part of a journey or a milestone they made,
right?
Re-choose your friend group because that's fear of missing out with your friends should never be a problem. I feel like that's something you should never experience. I only give fear of missing out an excuse for like what you said. If I'm on Instagram, I may be like dang, I wish I had that, or dang, I wish I could do that. But
and that's okay. Like that's normal to wish and want to be at a certain place in your life too, where you may want certain things someone else may have. Like, but friend group, like you said, that's not.
And I feel like that's where I feel like that's where fear of missing out stems from. I feel like the fear of missing out stems from you being with your friends, feeling like, oh, my friend, like if you go out to dinner and you go with your man and y'all go on like a 5-course steak dinner,
right?
I'm gonna be mad because I'm watching your story and be like, dang, I wish I could be with her. I wish my man could do this. Like, no, that's when it becomes like I guess the wrong way to do it. Wrong way to do it.
Comparing.
Yes, that's when it goes from fear of missing out to comparison.
To just comparing. Like, dang, why don't I do that? Why didn't my man do this? Or why haven't I done some?
Or why she didn't invite me here? That don't. We cutting that in 2025. We're not doing that in 2025. Okay.
No.
So, all right. So we basically just kind of went into a whole spiel about basically how being in your 20s is ghetto. So before we go into the last game, I just want us to both just basically give our own opinion on basically like the raw feelings about being in your 20s. So I'll go first. I feel like I am confused as fuck. Okay? Yeah. I just feel confused. I feel like I'm just doing shit, really. I feel like I'm just doing stuff over and over again and hoping that it works out. But like she said, with God by my side and always leading me, I don't care. Woo! I don't think about nothing else. I'll go spend my money. I'll go make my money. I'll go pay my bills. And I just hope it works out. But I would say one word. That's what I say. One word to describe your 20s. Confused. What would you say?
Good one. Ditto to all that she said. Literally everything she said. That's why we're so close now because we literally are like low-key in the same stage. Literally. At moments. And I'd be like, bitch, that's literally me too. Like, yeah. You said your word would be confused. Mine would be, what the fuck? I'm just kidding.
Literally.
No, I don't know.
Literally, though.
I don't know. I gotta think of a word. Maybe when I talk more, I'll get a word. But
just describe your
same
20s
thing.
and
I'm
you'll
gonna
come
describe it. Okay, definitely like when I was younger in high school or something, I definitely didn't think I was gonna be living like this at 25. I actually think I said something like, "Oh, I'm gonna be married by 25." Girl, how you gonna be married? You're not even in your career for real. Stop playing right now. Like me personally, there's certain levels. Like I'm not bashing nobody out here who is like, you know, may not be established in their career or have kids, not married, like whatever. Like that's cool, good for you. But me personally, for my journey and the way I want my life to be, I can't see myself married or having no kids, and I don't even have a stable job. Like I'm not even doing what I want to do yet. Because there's a certain way I want to live and I want to raise my kids and be married, you know, and contribute to a marriage. I'm not here for the, oh, my man gonna take care of me, but no, this is gonna be.
Ooh, I can't wait for that
I can't wait for that either.
I can't wait for that
50-50 thing. Like, yeah, we're not even gonna get too much into that. But
I can't wait for that
so, me personally, like I said, this is not how I imagine my 20s to be at all. There's days I'm like, what the freak am I doing? Like, what is this? I get discouraged. I have moments I get sad. And I'm like, I can't believe I'm not even establishing my career. Like, what the heck? Why did I major in this? Like, just confused. I feel lost at times. I'm like, bruh, like, I'm trying to get my savings up. Like, it's just so much stuff. So I'm like low-key all over the place. And now that kind of makes me think of a word. I would say it's not really a word, but all over the place.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And just figuring it out. That's really just what it is. Day by day, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm such a person that's always trying to think of another way to make money. So like I'm just a hustler.
To pinpoint what you said earlier about like what you thought your life would look like at 16, I literally don't think girl, I don't know what, at 16, I was thinking, when you turn 21, that means you grown, got your life together, you good.
Literally,
as soon as you turn 21, you can drink, you can vote, you got kids, a marriage. Like, you just think everything's just supposed to doop as soon as you turn 25. And that shit was a big ass, like, wake up call, because I definitely didn't imagine anything I would be going through right now. Like, I got one quick question. What would you say, because I can say with my, like, the biggest, I guess, adult decision I ever made before. I'm gonna ask you what yours was. So my biggest adult decision was my first time ever going to buy a car with no help or no money. Don't ask me how I did it. By the grace of God and the people that was around me, it worked out. But like, that was probably the biggest adult thing I did that really made me wake up one day. And I woke up the next day with them keys like, oh, I'm grown.
Period.
I don't care how old I am. I'm grown. Like, right. So what's the first thing that you did that really made you feel like, yeah, I'm grown?
I think mine is low-key the same as yours, but my big girl thing I first did was literally just last year. So I had a paid off car, luckily, thanks to my parents. Love y'all, but I'm so stupid. You know what? I honestly I was working at a car dealership. That's another story. I don't work there anymore, guys.
Ooh, that's a good
surprise. Don't care.
No, I'm gonna say you just made a good point. What about your car situation? Because I was gonna go into that.
Okay, yeah. So basically, I was working at a car dealership, so obviously I got easily influenced. Like, you're around cars all the time. But I'm thinking, like, I'm at Hyundai and Kia. Like, girl, boo, I don't really want either one of those for real. I'm not tripping. I had my good little Honda Civic Diamond. Miss her. Rest in peace. But, yeah, I was straight. But I low-key forgot. They're, like, trying to get me to get a car. I tried
to stop her, y'all.
Everyone tried to stop me. No bills. They all tried to stop me. Mind you, I had no bills.
No bills.
I don't have insurance. I don't have to pay for rent. I don't have to pay for my phone bill. Like, this is the first big girl bill I ever got. But I'm like, you know what? This might help me, y'all. Like, this is going to make me mature. And
I told her not to do it. I said, listen,
everyone told me not to do it. I just want to tell you, everyone. And I didn't listen. I was like, y'all, it's fine. Like, I was trying to, I'm over here trying to budget. Like, oh, I know I make this much a month with my job every 2 weeks, but I also make this with my business. And like, you know, if I ever need help, my parents may help me. Yeah, they've helped me one time. Please, like, not too much. And that was just when I quit my job. I was like, oh, shoot. Like, how the heck? Came through. We good. But anyways, more of the story is I got influenced to get a brand new freaking car with no bills, no nothing. And I was just like, it's fine.
That was a real adult, like.
It was just a real deal, like, big girl decision. And I didn't have to do it, but I chose to do it for me because I thought it was going to teach me a different level of responsibility. Has it? And it definitely has.
So it worked out as long as you learn something from it.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know what just happened for 10 minutes. We had to get right, and I lost 3 fingers on my Yeah, so
We don't even have our papers anymore. It doesn't even matter.
I don't even know what just happened.
Next episode, I promise we'll be more in line. Okay?
Next episode, when you see this finger with just a middle finger, don't say nothing, okay?
You know what? YouTube will see it.
Bye.
Bye. Literally.
Rest in peace to you.
Goodbye.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode with a little fun game the same way we started it. So it's going to be basically about how in your 20s, I feel like all of our decisions are about like either or. Like we always have to choose one or the other. Going out, staying in, spending money, not eating. Like it's always something that you have to choose between.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you choose between some options. So TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
That's got to go. That's what you're choosing over Instagram?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's picking the one she chooses over it. Okay.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
Living for the weekend or living for the grind in the future?
See, I'm indecisive. I want to say both, but then again, you got to live for the
You gotta
weekend
choose
because
one.
YOLO, you don't
What
know
if you
if
don't
might
make
die
it to the weekend?
Sure. So I'm going to say the weekend.
Yeah, because what if you don't make it to the weekend?
Live every day like tomorrow's your last.
YOLO,
Today's your
for
last,
sure.
whatever they say.
Y'all gonna see in this podcast, our motto is literally YOLO. with
YOLO.
Everything.
It is. That's literally my everyday motto.
All right.
Nice.
Career stability or career freedom?
Career stability. Why
I'm
did I
gonna
say that
disagree with
wrong?
you. I don't know.
Wait,
I don't know what you
define stability.
Stability.
Career freedom, as in like.
Okay, this is what I look at it as. When you say
Okay.
career stability, that's basically working a job that you know for a fact is consistent. You're probably not going to lose that job. It's the same job you're good until you can retire.
Okay.
To me, career freedom is basically like not necessarily having your own business, but the freedom to do what you want with your career.
Oh, you didn't say that.
I
didn't know that's what
Stability
you meant.
versus
That's
freedom.
why I'm like, wait, freedom.
I'd rather have
Cheers
the freedom to be able
Cheers, freedom. Cheers to more money, peace, happiness, and freedom. Freedom.
Bitch, what's left in your cup? I was about to say cheers to freedom. It ain't nothing in
Okay, pause. Okay. I didn't know she was saying that on like an entrepreneur.
No, it's however you
thing.
take it.
Okay.
That's the fun of this. It's however you
Okay,
take
well, I
it.
didn't take it like that, so I'm gonna start by. I'm gonna just stick to what I said. Stability.
Okay.
Now you go.
And the only reason I said freedom, y'all heard why. Okay, cool.
Okay, got it.
Online dating or meeting people in person, like when it comes to dating or whatever the case may be. If you just have to choose.
meeting people in person, but I feel like most of the experiences I've had are just like online,
Yeah.
not like dating apps, just like Instagram.
Yeah,
type
I feel like definitely
stuff.
online because I feel like it'd be awkward in person.
I feel like
more.
I don't think I've really honestly linked or actually had something with someone I met in person. I feel like it's
always
been
like, yeah. 'Cause then also,
Instagram or something.
on Instagram, you can see mutual followers. You can kind of see what your lifestyle
You
look
already
like.
know.
I don't want to meet you in person and just be looking, who the fuck are you?
Right, because you might look real cool.
and then
I
you
see
lame
like-
as hell.
Never mind.
Okay. Settle down by 30 or exploring yourself until 30? I'm going to go first.
Okay, yeah, you go.
I would say the only reason I say settle down by 30 is because I just cannot see myself at 29, 28, or 27 just free ball, just
Yeah, no.
fucking off and doing whatever I want.
Yeah, okay.
Like, that's why I say that.
I was gonna say when you say settle down by, like, oh yeah, you're done by 30. Like it's put up, it's over with. Like
It's basically saying like, do you want to have everything like situationship or relationship wise figured out by 30, or
for
do you want
sure.
to still be like right at 30 is when I'm done having fun?
No, I'm definitely settled down by 30. Like by 30, it's already over with.
Yeah, I'm
So,
not trying to have fun
yeah.
at 30.
No,
Who's my man?
That's what 20s. Yeah, literally.
Okay, famous or rich?
Rich.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna
Fuck
lie.
the fame. Give me the money.
I don't care who knows me. I need that money.
I low-key wish I could go up on TikTok, minus like if how people just be too known on TikTok. I don't want that part. I
feel like you're gonna be famous and rich.
Me? No,
Because you're very you have a social media. You have a social media. You have a social media platform personality.
I know. I would only want to be famous if I were to like pursue the acting, and I kind of hung that up.
She gonna be in there like,
we'll see. But
Johnny, stop. I don't love you no more. Give us your best acting right now.
Absolutely not.
Anyways,
Not absolutely not.
Relationship.
Well, I was about to go in scene. I was about to go in character.
Real quick.
No.
Scene. You just lost your dog.
Where is he?
That was
Glad.
not believable.
And that's why I'm not
This
pursuing
bitch
it
said,
anymore.
where is he?
Where is he?
Okay, this is the last one. This is a good one. Relationship goals or personal goals?
Personal goals. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to be
Absolutely.
anyone's relationship goals, and I don't think anyone in life is relationship goals because all that shit is cap. In real life, behind the cameras, behind the social media shit, ain't nobody no perfect relationship out here. That arguing be going on, that cheating be going on. That's not, well, it better not be my relationship. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like, I've never wanted to be someone's relationship goal. No, that was done in middle school.
Yeah, definitely personal goals, because without you having personal goals set, you're no good for a relationship.
Exactly. You need to get yourself in line and in order before
that part. But speaking of relationships, that kind of eases up. That ends this episode, but it's going to tease for the next episode because we're going to really dive into like that whole best friend thing when you're in a relationship, or like having opposite sex best friends, whether you're in a relationship or not. Because sometimes it be underlying feelings there and sometimes it don't be. But we're going to really dive into what the truth be when it comes to being this age and having quote unquote best friends that are of opposite sex. So we're going to cheers to that and see y'all next week.
Bye.
We're done.